Welcome to Build Your Own Adventure. For this one, we're going to be looking at how I made the Build Your Own Adventure for Google Forms. So there's some basic steps to follow, and the first one is make a plan. We need to make a plan so it's kind of laid out. Some people may think of this as flow charting, but all I'm going to do is make my plan. And there's a story map, you'll see it on the other page, that you can use. I happen to change mine into a Google Doc. But on page one, it's explaining different ways for them to use a Google form. So how do you want to use? So my first two choices for you were use data collection or use to assess a measurement. All right, if I use it for data collection, I gave a little blurb on there. And then my two choices here would be teacher data tracker or note-taking guide for students. Same thing over here. What happens if I want to use it to assess kids? Well, are you a beginner with Google Forms? Are you just ready for the basic multiple choice? Or are you ready for more advanced types of features? Okay, and from there, I'll lay out what each path gets. And you'll notice that it says I need 7 pages, or I call them 7 sections inside a Google form. Okay, so I need 7. So I've laid out my plan. And then I want to create and title a new form. Great, I'm going to go into my Google Drive, into the folder where I want to put the form, and I go New Form. It's going to create and share in that folder. I'm going to call this Build Your Own Adventure. With Google Forms. All right, that's my title. Great, I did that part. Next step says we did that. The next one says before adding questions, add new pages to your form. Now this is a change probably in language, but it would be add new sections to form. So I'm going to come back over here. Remember I needed 7. I'm going to come back over here and I am going to add 7 sections. So when I click on this bottom link here, you'll notice I now have 2 sections. I'm just going to keep on clicking. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've made all 7 sections. Okay? There we go. Now I've made all 7 sections. All right. So now once I've made the sections, let's go back and see what it says. Be sure to name and describe your pages. So for me, when I go back to name and describe my pages, on page 1, the description really is Build Your Own Adventure. Great, I'm good with that. Then the next one is page 2. Look back at your form, how you set it up. Page 2 is used for data collection. All right. Page 3 is used to assess measurement. Page 4 is really about teacher data tracker. That's page 4. Page 5 is your note-taking guide. Page 6 is the beginner with forms. And the 7 is the advanced with Google Forms. All right, so now I've named them all. So now let's see what it asks me to do next. So it says go back to page 1 and edit the first multiple choice question. Click on the option labeled go to based on answer. All right, so let me come back over here. Here's section 1. Okay, I'm in section 1. Make sure you click on it so you get it here. I want to add a question in section 1. Okay, my first question is this long question that I wrote up here. It's about the different ways you can use a Google form. Okay, so now I've typed in my question. And then my options are use as data collection and use to assess measurement. All right. Now, then it said something about being able to advance to different sections. Down here, where the dots are, that says go based on your answer. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll notice I get different choices now. So if they click on use for data collection, then I want it to hop it to use for data collection. If they click on this one, use to assess measurement, then I want it to click to section 3. So it will keep building out of which section it is until it gets it to where it wants to be. So that build your own story will continue based on different sections. So you'll just keep on finishing the Google form just like I was doing. If we take a look back at the steps, it just tells you exactly that. Go back to page 1, use the options in the Google form to specific pages based on your answer, and continuing adding as you go. And that's as easy as it is. Enjoy creating your own adventure with Google Forms.